All right, Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of great millstones, Taught his truth. Peace, blessings, and salutation to the whole few elect. You sincere brothers and sisters out there, you men pushing the word and truth and sincerity. All right, I just wanted to get into another lesson today on the flesh versus the spirit. All right, and I just woke up and this just jumped on me. It's like, man, do a lesson on the flesh versus the spirit. All right, because it's a constant state that we are in, the having a war against the flesh. Okay, so I'm gonna just give some precepts and willing to be edifying. All right, this is Galatians chapter 5, verse 16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusted against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law." So this is not talking about under the literal law. It's just saying that if you are led of the spirit, you are still under the law, but you are pretty much trying, you're trying to keep the law to the best of your ability is what I'm trying to say. All right. It says, "Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife." Goddamn, all the streets to pass on. Shalaki. Emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in the past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. All right. It says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not desirous of vainglory, provoking one another and envying one another." All right. Now this showed you the things that the Spirit likes to do. All right. You want to be in the world and do things of the world, but those are things that are of the flesh. All right. Those things don't circumference to what the Spirit wants to do. Okay. So being of the world, you're going to do these adulterous things. All right. You're going to do idolatrous things. All right. And you might not even realize that you're worshiping idols or whatnot, but you in the world. So, Jake don't care about that. All right. They just trying to get the bag and do whatever it takes to get the bag. All right. They're not worried about walking after the Spirit. Okay. Because when you're walking after the Spirit, you are longing for things that are not of the world. All right. You want everlasting life. You want everlasting peace, okay? You want the kingdom, all right? You're putting off that old self and that old man just to transform your body and renew your spirit so you can inherit the kingdom, all right? Because that's why it says in here in to verse 21, it says, they that which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom. All right. So I'm going to go to Romans chapter 5. Well, I'll go to chapter 8 first. All right. It says, for what the law could not do, I start at 3. It says, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, okay? Because the flesh is weak, man. All right? Even Yahweh Shai said that the flesh was weak, all right? When he was in the flesh, as Yahweh Shai, he said was weak. I think that's in Matthew 26. I think so. I might get that, but let me finish this. It says, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh. All right? Because he was the only person who ever walked the earth perfectly. All right? He kept all the laws, the statutes, and the commandments perfectly, man. All right? That's how he was able to condemn sin in the flesh. Verse 4, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. All right? Because we are those men, you know, who are walking after the spirit, man. We put off the flesh. All right? You know, our temptations, we're still tempted with things, but, you know, we are not going to be perfect as Yahweh Shai was, but we are still trying our best, all right, through the grace and the spirit and the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, all right? Now, these things can overtake us, but, you know, you have to keep fighting, all right? You have to fight against that flesh, okay? Verse 5, for they that are after the flesh do mind things of the flesh, but they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, all right? To be carnally minded, man, to want things on this side is death. So like, all right? Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of Yahweh, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please Yahweh, but ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so that the spirit of Yahweh dwell in you. Now, if any man have not the spirit of Yamashiach, he is none of his. All right? And if Yamashiach be in you, the body is dead because of sin, but the spirit is life because of righteousness. All right? And I'm going to just stop there because, you know, pursuant to that, I think that's Revelation, the 11th chapter, when it says the dead body shall lie in the street for 3.5 days. And then it says a few more verses down that the spirit of life entered into them, all right? Because that's talking about us not having this truth, all right? We were in a dead state. We were in a dead state, all right? So the spirit of life entered into us, and we were waking up, we were risen, all right? Because you put off those old things, man. You become spiritually minded, all right? You can see spirits in people, all right? When people, you can say, oh man, that dude got a demon on him. Even dealing with your woman, you can tell when your woman has a demon on her, all right? You can tell when get around brothers and you see how lively the spirit is, all right? Because these are the same men that have the same hopes that you have, and they have put off the carnal things, all right? They have put on the things that are pleasing toward Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? And, our righteousness is at a filthy, this is roughly paraphrasing, is as a filthy rag. But, we're still on the side of fighting to be righteous, to be of the spirit, all right? Fighting those things of the flesh off, because it's always a constant war between the flesh and the spirit, all right? So, I started, it's all good, I just want to get to the point. So I started, this is Romans chapter 7, verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not. But what I hate, that I do. All right? Because what it's talking about here is the flesh. All right? You want to do things that's of the spirit, but, sometimes the flesh, it just overpowering. All right? It conquers, what you want to do. That's what this is talking about here. All right? It says, if then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that it is good. Now, then it is no more I that do it, but sin dwelleth in me. For I know that in me, that is in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. All right? Because we know that these fleshly bodies are what I read in Galatians 5, roughly verse 18, man. It's just full of wickedness, all right? The flesh is weak, okay? The flesh is weak. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, man. That's why it's a constant war between the spirit and the flesh, all right? You have the spirit, you know how they have that, the angel, and it's like the red, like a little red demon on the shoulder in the cartoons, man. One on the right side, one on the left side, That's the constant war between your flesh and your spirit, because what you want to do is, what the flesh wants to do is the left-hand side, man. It wants to do wicked things. It wants to do things that's pleasing to the flesh, all right? But in your mind, spiritually, you want to do things that's pleasing to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, all right? And that's the constant war that we're under in this captivity, okay? This is something that we have to battle against daily, all right? And I finish reading verse 18. It says, for to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good, I find not. For the good that I would, I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me, all right? That flesh, man. All right? That flesh, man. But, the sin is death, all right? And I just wanted to get this point. It says in Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of Yahweh is eternal life through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, our Lord, all right? Because we've been able to come back to our power through the mediator, all right, which is the Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, all right? Just put it in a perspective, if Yahweh is the judge, Yahweh Shai would be the lawyer, okay? He would be the one representing us, pleading our case to Yahweh, okay? That's what it would look like in perspective, all right? Because the way we sin on a daily, and sometimes we sin not even knowing, those sins could be worthy of us being put to death, all right? But we're under the grace through Yahweh Shai now, because he came and he conquered death for us to be able to come back to the power, Yahweh, all right? Pursuant to that Hosea 1, chapter 1, in the land where I said that ye are not, let me get that real quick. I don't want to paraphrase it. Yeah, Hosea 1 and 10. Well, I started at 9. Then said Yahweh, call his name Lo-Ami, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your power. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. It shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. All right? Because that's what's happened now. All right? The Lord turned his face from us, but he turned his face back to us because of Yahweh Shai, man. We are able to call on the names Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai because of Yahweh Shai. All right? Without Yahweh Shai, we wouldn't be able to come back to our power. Okay? But ultimately, we are going to be made perfect. All right? And we won't have to worry about the wicked flesh ever again. All right? That's why we want E to go his move. All right? Because we know what lies ahead for Israel, man. Jacob is the beginning, Esau is the end, all right? And we at the end. So just go with your damn move, Esau. We tired of waiting, man. We want the kingdom, all right? We want the laws to be put on our inward parts, all right? I'm gonna get that. This is Jeremiah 31 and 31. It says, behold, the days come, said Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. All right, and that's talking about with the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay, it says, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, said Yahweh. But this shall be a covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said Yahweh. I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. All right. And that word heart goes into the Hebrew word la'ab, all right, which means mind. All right. So the laws are going to be written in our inward parts, in our minds, man. So we won't be able to ever go off again, and we're going to be righteous forever. Forever. All right. That's that. After that, man, that's it. That's a wrap. Because we are going to be changed out of this wicked flesh. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 15, verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom, neither doth corruption inherit corruption. But I shew you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. All right? That seventh trump, no evil shall touch thee. All right? Pursuant to that revelation, okay? We know we're going to be catching hell on that sixth trouble, going through Jacob's trouble. But once that seventh trump sound, and we see the chariots and Yahweh Shai crack those clouds, we know that's the wrap, man. We made it. All right? It says, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. All right? Because those who are of the elect and of that 1/3 of those who are put to death, they'll be raised first. Scripture said that the dead shall arise first, and we'll meet them in the air, something like that, roughly paraphrasing. All right? I'm just trying to stay on point, though. But it says, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. How are we going to be changed? All right? We're going to receive those new bodies, all right? Those perfect bodies, and we're going to have the laws written on our inward parts, okay? We won't have to worry about being corrupted by the flesh, all right? It says, for this corruptible must be put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. All right? Because we are not going to die anymore. Okay? We're going to be a nation of people who lives forever, man. Okay? So when this corruptible, verse 54, so when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. All right? Because at the end of the day, we're going to have the victory. Okay? We are going to be like Yahweh Shai, and we are going to be overcome death. Okay? Because we're going to be changed. The laws are going to be written in our inward parts, and we won't ever have to worry about this flesh again. All right? So I didn't have anything else, man. I just wanted to get into a lesson on that because, it's a constant battle between the flesh and the spirit. All right? So, Abu Ratazah, this lesson was edifying. Call Halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kodash. Double honors once again to the apostles, the elders and bishops of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect, all right, as well as those that believe on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. You dear brothers and sisters, you sincere out there. All right, until next time, man, I say Shalom, Kwam Yasharala, Ababa Ball, Shalom.